Hello, everyone. Today, I'm coming to you from the historic town of Casco Viejo in Panama, where I had the pleasure of meeting Mia, an ambitious young and energetic entrepreneur and business owner who decided to start her own vegan business. It's called the Vegan Shack, where she offers whole plant-based foods and beverages while promoting a healthier lifestyle. After visiting her restaurant several times with my husband and daughter and eating some of her most delicious foods, we hit it off so well that I invited her for a conversation. So grab your favorite cup of tea and join us here in Casco Viejo. Let's talk about health and wellness in Panama.
Thank you, Mia, for coming to us. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for inviting me.
And as I said before, I think you're an ambitious entrepreneur, and I was just really impressed with how you started your business, and on top of that, a vegan business. So can you tell me a little bit about how you started at such a young age?
Wow, honestly, food has been life. Like I've loved food and cooking from such a young age. I've been so into experimenting, into creating with my hands. And for me, it's just a way of expressing myself and expressing my love. But this project that I have going on, the Vegan Shack, it started, back in 2020. I realized that the only thing that I didn't stop doing during the pandemic close down was cooking. Like it was the one thing that got even more obsessive than all of my passion.
I love it.
Yeah, and I started cooking for friends, like dinner parties, and then it just became a thing. And one friend one time was like,
"Yeah, been here."
Mia, why don't you open a restaurant? Like you're already doing this like every single day. Like why don't you? And then the idea came to my head, and I started a business plan, started experimenting with meals, and
So here in Panama, we're here in Panama, as I mentioned, we're in Casco Viejo in historic Panama. So how difficult is it for a teenager? Because you were a teenager at that time. So
that was not in Casco. That was actually in a beach town in Playa Venao. Yeah, I was 18 at the time.
Wow.
And I had never worked a day in my life. So when I proposed the idea to my mom, she was like, no, I'm not going into business with your child. But I was very determined, and it did end up happening. So I was there for a year. A year later, just hanging out at the beach, beach life, and then we came here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved here with your parents? With my mom. With your mom. Yeah. And then she was just like, yeah, go for it.
Here, she joined me in on the business idea because she had closed her businesses in the city. So she was like, okay, we need to do something. It's time to create. We've been sitting for 2 years. Let's do it.
So then 2 years after COVID was when you came to the city.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when I came to Panama, I decided, okay, let me start researching about vegan restaurants. And of course, I came across yours, and I texted you on social media because I was like, oh, I have to go and try that. But what is it like having a vegan restaurant in Panama, and then not just in Panama City, where of course there are a lot of tourists, but in Casco Viejo, so it's very historic, which means that people are very much emphasizing the authentic Panama cuisine. What is that like?
Well, we choose Casco because it is we feel like it's the heart of Panama City. I feel like it's the most authentic place there is, low buildings, and everything is it's more connected. Like you can see around us, we're right next to the ocean.
Yes.
We hear the birds. There's trees around us.
Right.
So for me, walking through Casco streets is peeking into abandoned buildings and seeing papaya trees growing from the ground. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it goes with my vision, with our values, and also because it's the place where most tourists pass by, and you as a tourist can understand how hard it is to get to a new country and not be able to find what to eat, something that will actually nourish you and satiate you and satisfy you. Usually when you say you're vegan or plant-based at a restaurant, they either give you lettuce or something unseasoned, and it's very
fries.
either or, and it's disappointing because we want to experience yummy food, because we know
Right.
that it's
Whole
possible
food, right?
to make yummy whole food that
Right.
will make us feel good, make our
Right.
brain feel good too.
Yes.
So that was the start. It started from a need, because me as a consumer, I wanted
Right.
to go to a place where I could choose anything I wanted off the menu without
Right.
limiting myself to a half meal.
Right.
and
right.
to enjoy it, like mainly
Wow.
food, to enjoy it. So that's where like
It's neat. I love it. And how has it been received here in Casco Viejo? Because I remember coming here 2 years ago, and almost, I would say, half of the stores, half of the restaurants weren't even here. And so I know that they're building it up, which I think is amazing, because all the historic buildings are now coming to life even more. But with all the restaurants coming in here, how has it been for you having this vegan restaurant in Casco Viejo?
I mean, I'm the only vegan restaurant
know.
in Casco Viejo. So it's been good. The response of people is amazing. People are honestly so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the people that arrive at the shack, like I'm grateful for each one.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like I got to meet you through the shack.
Yeah, I love
But yeah, people are always so full of gratitude. Like they're always
Yeah.
like, wow, this is exactly what I needed. Like I've been traveling through America, and I haven't, like, through all the Americas, and I haven't been able to like find something to eat that's not like, and so this is what I needed. And that's what I love to hear
Yeah.
most. Like I satisfy something
Right,
in
right,
them.
right.
And yeah.
And when it comes to, we're talking vegan, oftentimes people get confused because they're like, well, you can eat French fries, or you can have what we have in America, the Beyond Burger or the Impossible Burger. But your menu is actually not just vegan, it's whole food.
Yeah.
Right?
I
So,
love that word.
and that to me, it's important. We are hibiscus and whole food.
Yeah.
And I wonder what are the challenges with creating whole food plant-based as opposed to just vegan dishes as we know in the tradition of, what
Well,
people think of as vegan.
it's mainly with the local consumerism of Panama that I have issues with that, because they are very used to a certain type of meal, a certain type of eating. Like, so they expect vegan to be like the farm meat, the replacement of something.
Okay.
So if they
processed.
don't have chicken on their plate, then it doesn't feel like they're eating a whole meal,
I
they
see.
psychologically don't think that they're gonna be satisfied. Until they try the food. But usually they won't dare to try the food just because of that, like, little holdback. So the only plant-based, like the most plant-based restaurants in Panama are fake meat based, like they're
Like the TVP, texturized vegetable protein, soy
yeah,
protein kind of thing.
So for me, like now, I cannot like tolerate that amount of like processed and gluten. So I decided to like take it to another direction and make my burgers myself, use tofu, which is more easy to digest, and lentils, beans, all the infinite amount of proteins
I
that
love
we
your
got.
I love your pancakes. I love your scramble, everything.
Yeah.
You have to go there. Definitely. You have to come to the vegan shack. So, and well, definitely I admire the fact that you are focusing not just on vegan and comfort vegan, but that it's whole food vegan. So what did you have to do a lot of education for that, or, what inspired you to do that? Because it does take some kind of effort to really say, okay, I'm going to do whole food instead of just the processed food. Because in the United States, for instance, it's easy to find a restaurant with an Impossible Burger, right? But to have a whole menu of whole food, that's pretty impressive. Yeah,
Thank you. I never saw it that way, because for me, it's just about like what I like to eat and what are my preferences and what are my needs, to sustain myself. I'm pretty intuitive with my cooking. I only took a cooking course when I was 12 for like 4 months, and I dropped out because I went vegan. But yeah, so it's just been like, reading over some YouTube videos, but I never really like studied it as is. I never finished high school. I dropped out of middle school.
A lot of entrepreneurs have.
Yeah. I had a little space
out
to
of school. Now he has Microsoft. So
So yeah, I was just like experimenting and learning to listen to myself and what I like to make. And it was like, connecting with the food and knowing like, okay, if I have this and this, it makes it balanced. I got every time that you got like variety of things on your plate, like you don't have to worry about nutrients. Like if you got enough color there, then like you're set.
So we say eat the rainbow.
Yeah,
Right? Eat the rainbow. As long as you eat the rainbow, you get all the antioxidants, get all your nutrients.
Yeah.
And of course, balancing your meals. I agree with that. So what's your plan for what more can we expect from the vegan chef?
Well, for now we're just trying to make it like, shoot up and have more people get to know the place, more people get involved, like to build that core community. My personal plans are to have a traveling shack maybe and like
Love it.
start moving around with it.
Through Panama?
Through Panama first, and then who knows, drive up to Mexico.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because I love traveling and I love exploring and I miss the beach that I can swim in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would be nice to go to remote places and get to know what grows there and make food that is seasonal too. And, offer nourishing meals to people wherever they are.
So I think, I remember when I came to you and I was talking about going to Mercado de San Felipe Neri, and you said, well, there's another fruit market out there.
Yeah.
And Mia showed me this market. When I went to this market for $47, I got a kitchen full of produce. And I said to myself, wow, anybody in Panama can live a whole food lifestyle because this stuff, it looked like it was just picked straight from the farm. Everything still had dirt on it and, nothing seemed like it was pesticide sprayed or, like it was, intentionally made to look very pretty so that you could just pick the pretty fruits out. So do you feel that way also? That it's easy?
It is like veggies in themselves, like, and grains and nuts are pretty easily available. There are certain things that are imported. And so like avocados and other types of vegetables that I feel that we shouldn't be able to eat them all the time because it is a seasonal vegetable.
Yes.
But because we expect to have everything available to us all the time, then, it becomes that high demand thing.
Right.
Which is unbalanced in like the natural cycle way of living.
So do you feel that that's a challenge in keeping your menu?
Yes, most definitely. Like sometimes all the avocados arrive hard and black and I'm like, can't do anything about that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's written on the menu. Or like there's no watermelon because it hasn't rained or the lettuce goes bad because it's raining too much. And so there's all these things that I wish I could manage a more seasonal menu or that people will be more educated in understanding when things are missing. Because sometimes people get really disappointed, like, don't give them their avocado.
Because we're spoiled and, we're just so entitled to that avocado toast. And how come you don't have my watermelon punch? How dare you? No, I agree. Well, I definitely love it. I also think that people, if we educate people more, then people may understand better why certain things are better when they're in season, but then of course people have to be willing to receive it. So that's, one of my experiences. And have you thought about maybe doing some educational part that is attached to the restaurant so that people can learn more about whole food and understand why you're offering it in this way and why sometimes the papaya may not be available, right? Because your smoothie bowls are just amazing. With whole fresh fruit, I love that. What do you think about that? Do you have any plans for that?
I have some ideas, like maybe cooking classes, like intuitive cooking classes where we just like have a bunch of ingredients and play around with them, make one big stew of something you threw together with a lot of love. But also like I want to learn more about like the nutritional values of things. Like I would love to take a course with you. And to know also how to heal through food.
Yes.
Because this is a big thing for me. I really do believe that food is medicine or it can be poison.
Yeah.
So to be able to like involve that way more in the restaurant's core, I think would be like very powerful. But yeah, like baking classes would be super fun. Like just making cookies or sweets with no sugar.
Your berry cake was amazing. It's gone.
I'm glad you
The berry cake was actually, and the cookies are gone too. Yes, they are. They were so good.
And then when the sweet tooth hit.
Yes, exactly. So when the sweet tooth hit, we're walking through Casco Viejo, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but it's not plant-based, and it's also not gluten-free because not all plant-based is gluten-free, of course. So how receptive do you feel that the Panamanians are versus the people that are coming as expats? What is your perception there? Is your clientele more perceptive as expats, or are you
Yeah,
able to get them?
100%. 100%. Like,
But there's room for the Panamanians, right?
they're beginning to understand a little bit more.
Right.
It's becoming a trend, which is sad to say that Panamanians follow more trends rather than inner knowing.
Okay.
But it's getting out there that it's, better for you. You
Right.
feel better when you eat this way. But it's still like a hard crowd to reach.
Yeah.
So 90% of my clientele is either tourists or expats that live in Panama. Which like a lot of Europeans, for example, like culturally, they're used to eating way more whole foods. So like, eating every day out at restaurants can be hard. So when they get a meal that's like so big and filling, like they're very, very like satisfied and happy about it. But yeah, in Panama, it's more about like good looking food and like, we're a little bit Americanized.
We have here standard American diet set, but it's a standard American diet.
Yeah. So I say that I'm the leading edge, like we're starting, you're beginning to move the wheels. It can be tiring.
Yeah.
It can be an exhausting work because you're like, I cannot work half season hard and half a season done.
Sure.
But this is what I like to do, so yeah.
And I saw, you have employees, so that's also a challenge, right? Keeping up with your employees. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, my dishwasher was sick for 2 days this weekend, and I had to work by myself with my kitchen assistant. So it was like us cooking and cleaning and serving and everything. And so they get sick very often. And so this for me is like the symbol of like your average Panamanian person. Like they're constantly getting sick out of absolutely nowhere.
Why?
And for me, it's mentality. For me, I believe that victimizing oneself and feeling sorry about yourself gets you sick because that's how you think about yourself and that's what your body exudes. So having a weak mind makes your body weak too. They're constantly like with fevers, coughs, colds, this, that. And then instead of treating the core of the issue and like changing habits that they know because I tell them that are not good for them, they go and get injections or prescription pills or other medicine that is not healing, that just treats a symptom but doesn't treat the cause. And so that is something that I wish to learn from you, how to really communicate in a way that is understandable for them to want to treat themselves and feel better.
To love yourself that much that you understand that my health comes first, right?
Yeah.
And health is wealth, as we say. It's not a rhetoric, it's true. Without your health, you have nothing, right? So, but then I also wonder, so this is at the community level, of course, the employees. What do you see that maybe the local government could do to support healthy lifestyle more in Panama City and in Panama overall? Because we have statistics that unfortunately start to look like some other places like the United States, and we don't want that, right? And diabetes.
Yeah.
Blood pressure.
It all starts in education. In the education and what we show them as kids. I think it always starts as kids. And so here kids are like chugging soda by 2 years old and eating like processed foods full of coloring and bad stuff. So instead of that, like teaching like, look, your earth is so wealthy with vegetables and like you got like papayas growing everywhere, like enjoy fruit, eat fruit, not fried dough for breakfast.
Yeah, I saw that dish, the fried dough. That seems to be the in thing to have. So one thing that I want to talk to you about that I'm also curious about is age groups. Do you see that there's a certain age group coming to your business, to the restaurant, to the vegan chef, or do you see that it's any age group? And is that different for expats and for Panamanians?
It's very varied. I think there's a bunch of like Europeans are mainly travelers and also Americans, so they're like in their 20s kind of. I get a lot of families with young kids too, which I love. I love really big kids. And families with big kids too that are vegan. Like I've seen a lot of like fully vegan families, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Expats living in Panama are mostly like retired Americans and like that kind. But they come like occasionally. And for locals, usually it's people in their 30s. I feel like a little bit more matured. Like the young generation in Panama is still not so open to the idea. But I get some that like they follow us on Instagram and they like the idea and they tried the food and they liked it, so they come back. But yeah, it's pretty mixed up. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you have a lot of room for growth here in Panama and a lot of opportunity, I think, because number one, you're the only one in Casco Viejo, and there's so many young people in Panama that I think that once you can reach them, then you can find ways to create healthier communities, starting with the younger generations. With the older generations, a lot of times that I find no matter where you are, it's harder to reach them. And in my experience, that older generations often are very reactive. So in other words, they start changing their lifestyle because something happened. So a chronic disease or something that happened to their family member, which is a good reason to change, but it would be nice if we could reach people earlier. So I think that you're an amazing role model because you're so young and starting with people to see, okay, I can do this. If she can do this, I can do this. So being a role model and being a leader in the community is always important. So for that, I really do admire you. And I think that working with local governments maybe or promoting education and maybe saying, well, we could use these classes here. And then I met another gentleman that's actually from the United States who has a business in Panama City and maybe collaborating with other people and saying, hey, let's do some activities together.
Little pop-ups and kitchen takeovers. I feel like making a menu vegan for a night would be so amazing to show people that there's so many different cuisines and different ways of eating vegan food. It would be really amazing. I do have in mind like donating food maybe at some point when it's viable for me, and like to communities here in Casco and Santa Ana. There's this foundation that's a dancer foundation actually. It's called Fundación Espacios Creativos, and they take kids off the streets and from like houses around Santa Ana, and they teach them dance, contemporary dance. They have like a whole like it's beautiful community. So I honestly I've envisioned it like donating food for them, because sometimes I see them and they eat McDonald's for breakfast before a dance rehearsal, and I'm like, you can't do that to your body. Like how are you gonna have enough energy? So like that is a dream of mine, to be able to fuel athletes and dancers and young people that are looking for a better future for themselves, that are already there, like and align that desire to feel better.
One of the things that I love about Casco Viejo is there is no fast food restaurant here in Casco Viejo. And I pray to God that it stays that way. I don't want to have to see another Golden Arch. I mean, in the city, I saw this one place. No, it was at a mall. McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, all right next to each other. So, but let them stay over there. Let's keep Casco Viejo as whole and pure as possible. And you're doing it. You're doing it. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, well, congratulations on your business and all the best with your future venues. And I'll know that when I come to Panama, I know where to come and eat.
Thank you so much.
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing. Keep creating healthier communities and keep talking to our young people because they need it, so that we can live longer and that we can live healthier. Because longer and sicker is not fun, but longer and healthier can actually give us quality of life. So let's do it. Okay, thank you.
so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for watching.